It's easy to look out at our vast oceans and assume that they are too large for us to have any lasting impact on them. The facts, however, tell a different story, and one that is hard to hear. Our collective social behaviors regarding waste and trash are resulting in a worldwide crisis that is becoming clearer by the day. %80 of pollution in the ocean comes from the land, with a very large majority of this being non-point source pollution, or NPS, something often overlooked when discussing pollution in our ocean. NPS pollution is a result of runoff from multiple sources, which is different from single-point pollution coming from one identifiable source. NPS is hard to eliminate because it comes from many different places. A high percentage of this comes from the agriculture industry, and when it rains, the fertilizer used in the growing process makes its way through streams and rivers to the ocean. Three billion people rely on the sea as their primary food source, and this non-point source pollution is rapidly killing their food supply. Many kinds of marine life are unable to adapt and end up dying or becoming too polluted for animal or human consumption. More than 1/3 of shellfish growing waters are being negatively affected by NPS, which causes a disruption in the food chain and harms marine life of all kinds.
What I found out is that a lot of times people say, well, why is there this problem? Why does it even exist? Why don't people just throw trash in the bins, or why do they throw trash into the ocean or the rivers? And it's kind of thinking on, well, they have the same knowledge that we have, they have the same information we have, the same awareness that we have, and the fact is that a lot of people on this planet do not know that there is a problem. They don't know that there's something they can do to fix this problem.
The dangerous runoff from pollution is increasing the number of oceanic dead zones. A dead zone refers to an area of water which has been so severely depleted of oxygen that next to nothing is able to survive there. This forces animals to abandon the entire area. The ones that cannot escape perish. The depletion of oxygen is due to algal blooms. When algae comes into contact with pollutants, they rapidly multiply, then quickly die off, sucking all oxygen out of the water until there's next to none left. These dead zones are permanent in some areas and temporary in others, and as of now, there are over 400 of them worldwide. The largest zone is approximately 63,700 square miles, or roughly the size of Florida, and was found in the Gulf of Oman by Iran and Saudi Arabia. It has dramatically increased in size and severity since the 1990s, causing scientists to monitor its size very closely. These dead zones are a growing concern due to the increased rate of appearance and size, worrying scientists about what this could mean for our future. Litter and trash comes from just about everywhere to wind up in the ocean, not just from our beaches. There are about 5.35 trillion pieces of garbage debris in our oceans, and these numbers are increasing by the day. Here's what about 1 pound of trash looks like. Now multiply that amount by about 1.4 billion, and that's the amount of garbage that goes into our oceans each year.
One of the more shocking things that I noticed was how a lot of the trash was actually coming from fishermen. I would actually see fishermen throw their trash, their styrofoam, their plastic bags, their bottles straight into the ocean. We would go to a school and ask all the kids to go out and collect all the trash, and they'd come back with bags of leaves. So I realized right then that we had to start at the very beginning, which is to actually teach people the difference between, the plastics and nature's own biodegradable trash, leaves and stuff.
Scientists warn that unless there's a massive change in global behavior regarding our trash management, then by 2050 there will be more plastic than fish in the sea. You've probably heard of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, that's the size of Texas, but the problem is that most of it isn't visible to the human eye. In fact, 90% of all ocean trash has been worn down into microplastics, and it's estimated that many of these microplastics make it through our water treatment facilities and directly into our water supply. "94% of our drinking water now includes microplastics. And this isn't the only way that small microtrash is making its way into our digestive system. According to new studies, more than a quarter of all fish now contain some sort of plastic. Plastic in the human body and in wildlife can cause infertility, poisoning, and even genetic disruption. Many people recognize the fact that cleaning up all of this garbage isn't currently feasible, especially with the amount of microplastics in the environment. However, cleaning up beaches and litter is still massively important because it's the only way of stopping what's already in the environment from getting into our oceans. We also need to stop the multiple other sources of pollution before they enter our environment.
I had the pleasure of picking up a lot of trash, and I've noticed that a majority of it is plastic bags, single-use plastics like straws and forks, and a lot of styrofoam also.
Single-use items are a huge problem, and about 85 million tons of all plastic per year is only used once and then thrown out. About 9% of this then goes straight into the sea.
These are all things that can easily be replaced by a canvas bag, or just take your own plastic bag, reuse an old plastic bag, go to the store. These are things that we don't need to have anymore.
All of these single-use plastics are wasteful and unnecessary, and if we were to take huge steps to ban these, we would stop a vast majority of plastic and other non-biodegradable items from ever being made. Many countries are taking steps to remove these plastics at the source. Over 60 countries have passed laws against single-use plastics. As this problem is becoming more widely known, this number is growing.
What we did over in Thailand was something a little unusual. We built 2 plastic bottle boats. It was just something fun, something different to get people's attention. It got the attention we were looking for, a lot of media attention, and people were interested in what we had to say.
By each person being made aware of this global crisis, we can each take steps to make a brighter future. We can make a conscious effort not to buy items made of non-biodegradable material. We can pick up trash that we see anywhere, not just on the beach. And we can encourage others to join in hopes for a better tomorrow.